With the rumours of a Madrid Street race being brought to the grid to replace the Barcelona Grand Prix, we thought it would be a very good time to take a look at whether street circuits are ruining Formula One, the rise of street circuits. You might think that the idea of having a racetrack in city streets would be a new one, but as experienced Formula One fans know, street circuits have been a part of the sport for a very long time. The second ever Formula One race took place in the streets of Monaco. It was won by Juan Manuel Fangio, who went on to become a champion in the early years of the sport. Since that inaugural season, Monaco has created a reputation as one of the most glamorous and historic races on the calendar. While Monaco does not always produce the most exciting race every year, it is a staple of the calendar and one of the most highly anticipated weekends of the year. Qualifying is always an exciting watch. Seeing the cars come inches from disaster shows the skill of the drivers. Monaco can challenge drivers in ways that other tracks on the grid can't, and it is part of the reason why we have seen other street circuits join the calendar. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is one of the other famous street circuits, although it does not have the same tight feel as Monaco. The first street circuit that really looked like a street circuit in recent years was in Singapore. The Marina Bay Street Circuit pushes drivers both physically and mentally. It's a track where, if you make the smallest mistake, then you could be heading into the wall. As the sport has become more popular, we've seen more and more street circuits start to get onto the calendar. It's clear that Formula One is more focused on bringing the sport to some of the biggest cities in the world. They are focused on creating incredible spectacles in iconic areas, often with a lot of money available. In the past few years, circuits like Jeddah, Las Vegas and Miami have all found their way onto the calendar. These tracks are still street circuits, although Miami is more of a car park circuit. Having a circuit in the middle of the city means that Formula One can attract as many rich customers as possible. They can create the best weekend for the fans at the track, sometimes at the expense of the racing. There could even be a new street circuit on the calendar very soon. Rumours of a Madrid Street circuit. While the Formula One season might have come to an end, there have still been a huge amount of stories hitting the headlines. One of those that has caught the attention of fans is that the sport will soon announce a new street circuit on the calendar for 2026. The new race will take place around the streets of Madrid. F1 has never been a big fan of the Barcelona race. The high downforce and the short straights mean that racing is never massively exciting there. The sport moved away from having Barcelona as the venue for pre-season testing, so it's not massively surprising to hear that the Spanish Grand Prix might be moving. There have not been a huge number of details coming out about the possible replacement to the circuit Barcelona-Catalunya. The new rumoured track will be around the IFEMA Convention Centre, just next to where Real Madrid Football Club train. That track would cover many of the major streets around Madrid. These rumours have also stated that there is a chance that Madrid Grand Prix would not replace the Barcelona Grand Prix. The initial report from Spanish media stated that Formula One had applied for the trademark of the Madrid Grand Prix, so who knows, maybe Barcelona will remain the host of the Spanish Grand Prix. It doesn't seem like there is space on the calendar for another race, but Formula One is continuing to look for ways to revamp the calendar and make the sport as exciting for all of the new viewers. A 10-year deal could be the case for Madrid, and it seems most likely to come at a time when Barcelona's contract with the sport is expiring. Is another street circuit a good thing? If the rumours are true, then Madrid could be the 9th current street circuit on the calendar. That is a lot of street circuits, and the special feel of racing around city streets kind of loses part of its magic when it becomes such a common occurrence. But there are a lot of other reasons why another street circuit might not be a good thing for F1. For one thing, street circuits might bring the best out of the drivers, but they certainly do not show off the best of the cars. Overtakes are often a lot less likely at a street circuit because of how tight and twisty the track often is. A lack of overtakes is one of the main criticisms that Monaco has faced over the last few years. While a tight and difficult track might make qualifying exciting, street circuits do not always produce the best races. While tracks like Baku have produced enough opportunities for overtaking, it is still a valid criticism of street circuits. There is also almost always a lack of high-speed corners on street circuits. If you think about the current Formula One tracks with high speed, exciting corners, it's not street circuits. Silverstone, Spa, Suzuka all have extremely fast and exciting corners. They all are not street circuits. The spectacle is also not quite as good for the fans watching at home. Street circuits don't have the incredible views of somewhere like the Red Bull Ring. While the fans in attendance might enjoy the street circuits a little bit more, the majority of fans like the traditional tracks where cars can push to the fullest extent. There is another issue which the fans are noticing about the street circuits. F1 is not necessarily going to the most iconic or beautiful or stable cities to host a Formula 1 race. Instead, it is clear that Formula 1 is currently following the money and going to the cities offering a biggest paycheck. Money is the reason why there are now 3 F1 races in the USA every season, with 2 of those being on street circuits. Instead of the sport heading to the best tracks and venues, they're simply going to the place offering the most money. It is a disappointing reality for the average F1 fan who cannot afford the glitzy tickets to these races. What do the drivers think about street circuits? It's not just the fans who have been critical of street circuits in the past. The 2023 Las Vegas Grand Prix split a lot of opinions, with many of the drivers being critical with how unsafe the circuit was. Safety is often the first thing on drivers' minds at street circuits. Fernando Alonso said that the current F1 cars are not made for the slow-speed corners. He added that it was not much fun driving around the Las Vegas track, a sentiment that was shared by some of the other drivers on the grid too. Las Vegas showed that while building a brand new street circuit in the middle of a famous city might bring in a lot of paying spectators, it does not guarantee an exciting race that the drivers love. In terms of the potential Madrid Street circuit, the drivers have also had some pretty mixed views. In the past, Ferrari superstar Charles Leclerc has said that Madrid would be really nice to drive around. Spaniard Fernando Alonso said that he would be happy to race around Madrid if the sport decided to take a race to the streets of the city. There hasn't really been much else said by the drivers. In the past, F1 world champion Max Verstappen has spoken about the dangers of street circuits. Having little to no runoff area makes the tracks dangerous, and that is exactly the case with street circuits. So, are street circuits ruining Formula 1? It might be a little bit far to say that street circuits are ruining Formula 1. The races are still exciting and we can still love street circuits. Baku is the perfect example of a track that F1 fans and drivers both love for all of the right reasons. But we're certainly seeing too many street circuits flood the calendar. Losing a track like Barcelona would be tough to take for fans of the sport, as it's become a staple of the F1 calendar. F1 needs to find a way to keep street circuits on the calendar without having too many and taking away from the incredible racing circuits around the world. So what do you think? Are street circuits ruining Formula 1? Why not put your thoughts in the comments down below? And while you're down there, hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.